Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is We Talk Football. Today we are going to look at the Calling Knockout Cup. That was incredible. The Calling Knockout Cup final between Mamelodi Sundowns and Magesi FC. That was a nice game. I actually couldn't watch the game. I only watched the highlights just now. But it looked very exciting. A proper final. Two teams, of course, on different scales, on different levels, and different types of history. But both teams competed very well. It was a nice game to watch and a great advert for South African football, really. But yeah, today we're going to talk about the game, how it went, some of the highlights, and how did Magesi FC really pull off this huge miraculous upset. It's one of the biggest upsets in seriously in South African football, right? And so it was quite pleasant to see, really, to see like a really small club like Magesi FC, very new club as well, to go from the lower ranks of South African football to winning the Calling Knockout Cup against Mamelodi Sundowns, the best team in South Africa. So that's what we're going to do today. Please remember to follow us everywhere. Subscribe to our channel at We Talk Football 24. Follow us on Instagram at We Talk Football 24. And remember to look us up on Facebook at We Talk Football. So let's get into it. So let's start off with talking about Magesi FC. Because they've just won this tournament. It's their first, cup victory, huge cup victory in their history. Really, I had to look up the club's origins, their history. They they really started. They started only what's it now? 13 years ago. They started in 2011. They were founded in 2011. They are from Limpopo, right? And they're so new that I think they're not a massive club. They don't have a lot of supporters. Of course, a lot of their supporters will be based in Limpopo. But if you ask me, they're one of those teams that are so small that I think their supporters have other teams that they support, right? Like, you can't tell me that the Magesi FC supporters, um, before Magesi FC were established, didn't have any other teams that they followed or supported, right? Especially in a country like South Africa, where like football is so huge, and you have big teams like Kaiser Chiefs and Pirates, of course, Sundowns, the big three. You have Moroka Swallows, old teams, SuperSport United, Jomo Cosmos, big teams in South African football. You can't tell me that the Magesi FC supporters only started following football and supporting a club with the team, right? So I think that's how new they are. But I'm not saying that to slight the team, Magesi FC, but I'm actually saying how meteoric their rise has been. It's been a huge rise because, as I've said, they were established in 2011. They originate from Limpopo, not a very big team, and they started from the SAP League to the ABC Mutsipe League, right? And they were promoted last season. They gained promotion by winning the league, finishing first. That was incredible for them. I think for them, just being promoted to the PSL, to the first division, right? That is huge even in itself. That's a huge victory even in itself. And for them to go on and win the tournament in a final against Mamelodi Sundowns, it's unimaginable, right? It's huge. It's huge. And looking at the game, as I said, I watched the highlights. I couldn't watch the game, but at some points during the video when I was watching the highlights, right, 5 minutes in, I thought I actually went on to check the video again. I thought it was the, the Chipazeze Memorial highlight reel, where I thought it was just, a highlight of his greatest saves, his biggest moments, because it was all Sundowns and it was all Chipazeze, who had an incredible performance. He probably was the man of the match. Him and his two defenders out there, I think they did an extremely great job to 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 hold off the threat of Mamelodi Sundowns, because we know how potent that offense is by Mamelodi Sundowns. They dominate possession, they run, they score goals. That's what they do. But Mukone and Mzava, they did excellently to protect their goalkeeper. I mean, even though Sundowns had a lot of shots, but I feel like a lot of those shots were outside the box, long range shots, especially from Mukwena. We saw other people get involved taking shots outside the box. Rainers had a few shots, and I feel like they ended up, like, Sundowns ended up being a bit frustrated in the game because they had so much ball possession. They were very, very offensive. They attacked quite a lot, but they couldn't really create like clear cut chances where if one of those chances fall to Shalulile, he buries it, or Reynes or Rivero, even Mudau, one of their potent goal scorers. They didn't really create chances like that where they leave Chipazeze no chance. I think all the chances that they created, Chipazeze had, a decent chance to save them, but he did an excellent job in saving them. He did an excellent job coming out for crosses, being brave. Of course, he has two big centre backs, two towers that protect him, but he played his part very, very well. And I think Mamelodi Sundowns were left frustrated. As I said, seriously, at 5 minutes into the video, I was like, what am I? Am I watching the highlights of this game, or am I watching the memorial video, or like a highlight video for Chipezeze? He was excellent, and that's how much offensive Mamelodi Sundowns were. They had, talking about Sundowns, looking at the game stats, Sundowns had like 20 shots, 6 on target, 80% ball possession. They had 635 passes in a game. That's enough passes for 2 games, really. 635 passes, insane. They had a 91% pass accuracy. And yeah, no red cards. Nice to see a game with no red cards. But they only had 3 corners. I think that tells you how much, like, they had 20 shots, right? 6 on target, but only 3 corners. I think that kind of tells you the amount of clear-cut chances that Mamelodi Sundowns created. Not too many, really, not too many. The first time, or not the first time, but the first few times when they got in the box, I feel like they could have done better. I think Shalulile didn't really look. He didn't look clinical. He looked normal, but he could have been better. So I think they could have had better created chances. I think maybe they needed someone to unlock the defense, someone to create chances in midfield. All right, of course, Rivero is excellent, but I think he couldn't really unlock the Magesi FC defense. It was locked. It was on lock, right? And looking at Magesi FC as well, as I said, they did well to fight, to stay in the game, to be defensively solid and disciplined. They didn't, as I said, they didn't give away too many clear-cut chances, but they let Sundowns have possession to take long-range shots. They had 3 shots themselves in the game, 2 on target, the 2 goals, right? They only had 2 shots on target and they scored 2 goals. 20% ball possession. They only completed 158 passes. Not a lot, really. 51% pass accuracy. Yeah, and this is where they had 5 corners. Of course, they scored from one of the corners, and that was the difference in the ball game, right? Magesi FC had their chances. They took their chances and they stayed resolute. They stayed defensively solid, especially in the second half. I feel like in the first half it was all Sundowns really, and you felt, especially after the first goal went in, you felt like it was going to be a romp, and this was going to be an embarrassing game for a final for Magesi FC. Even though I really think they could have, like, even if they lost, they would have held their head high, because making it to the final against Mamelodi Sundowns is huge in your first season in the PSL. Really? Wow, not many teams can do that. So they would have had a really, really good time of it, I think. But they ended up going for it, right? And winning. And I think it tells you a lot about the team. It tells you a lot about their resilience, their determination, their will to fight, to win. And I think I think, you know what, this could have two effects. It could translate into their PSL season. Let me check the standings. Actually, I haven't checked the standings. This could translate to their PSL season, where they could look to climb up the table and survive. They could look to, take this form into the season where they start playing well and getting out of, a relegation battle. Right now, they're not too bad. They are in 11th place. They have 6 points. Not enough, really, because they are 2 points. Oh, no, sorry, 3 points above the relegation playoff spot, 15th. Right, and they are 4 points above TS Galaxy, who are bottom of the league. So you don't want to find yourself in a scrap to survive. So I think this could either translate into the season where they take this confidence and build on, or it could be a thing of them saying, we made it to the PSL, that was great enough. We made it to the party, we made it to the ball. But now they won a huge competition, got to the party, got to the dance ball, copped themselves a really, really nice, beautiful lady, right? Which is the calling Knockout Cup. And they could be like, we're done. Like, that's it. For a long time in their history, they'll be like, this is what dreams are made of. We did it. What can we play for this season, right? So I hope it's the first where they, push on and they do better things for themselves. They're a really good team, small team, right? And like you love to see things like this where a small team makes it and wins. But also, their run in the Calling Knockout Cup is really impressive, right? They it was impressive also because it wasn't easy. Remember, they beat Orlando Pirates, the other big team, the second, probably the best team right now in South African football, Orlando Pirates, right? And they beat them to get to the next round, where they beat TS Galaxy, and now they won a final against Mamelodi Sundowns. So, like, it couldn't have been a better run, beating Pirates, beating Sundowns in their run to winning the Calling Knockout Cup. Excellent stuff. Like, it's a dream, really. It's a true magic carpet ride that they're on. And hey, ride till the sun sets. Go, right? So yeah, it's a great thing to see for them. But I think we have to talk about Sundowns a little bit before the end of the video. I think it's a little concerning for Mamelodi Sundowns to see them not win this game, right? Because not only this season, but like following from last season, where they did not they had a record season, right? Recording the highest number of points in a PSL season ever. 70, I think they got 72, 73 points. They only had one defeat. They almost went invincible last season, but they only won the league, and they should have won more cup competitions. And I'm not saying they are a bad cup competition team. I think they're still a really good. They are the best team in South Africa, right? They're a great team, of course, an all-time great South African team. But they are a good cup team as well. But they need to take it to the next level where they win, right? Where they win more cup competitions, where they add to their legend, they add to their trophy haul, maybe like get a double winning season or a treble winning season. That's hard, of course, but they are Sundowns, right? They are the best team in South Africa. Probably the best team, if you had to rank, probably the best South African team of all time, Mamelodi Sundowns. So you see them lose to Orlando Pirates in the Nedbank Cup final last season. You see them crash out of the MTN8 competition earlier this season to Stellenbosch, and now you see them lose in the final of the Carling Knockout Cup against Magesi FC. All those games are winnable games for Sundowns, right? Or they could have easily won all those games and won all those competitions and won the league, but I don't know, something in big moments, maybe they don't come up in big moments. They don't they don't rise to the occasion. Um, it's weird to say that for a team that's won the league so many times. I think 7 seasons now they've won the league back to back, and so it's weird to say that, to say a team like that who's won so many league titles don't rise up to the big moments, right? So I think that's something to look at, but they're still in other competitions. They're still in the league. Of course, they could still win that, um, and they're still in the CAF Champions League. They could go for that and win it. Of course, they have before. So yeah, but absolutely brilliant game. Nice game to watch. Happy for Magesi FC. Hopefully this is a trampoline or a base for them to go forward and do better. Um, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not disappointed for Sundowns, right? Um, Even though I am a Kaiser Chiefs fan, even though our rivalry has been very, very one-sided in recent years, I still am not a. I'm not rooting for them to win anyway. So great to end the weekend like that. Anyway, let me know what you think. And remember to check out our weekly videos. Check out our weekly videos of the series that I've started, looking at careers from NBA and football players that I think are very, very similar. It's crazy to think how similar some of these people that I talk about are. Like this past week, or this weekend, I uploaded a video comparing Zinedine Zidane and Tim Duncan's careers. So check that out. Let me know what you think. It's very interesting. Look out for next week's parallel legends. It's gonna be awesome. Again, gonna be fun. I enjoy doing those because, of course, as I said, I love football. Of course, you know that, but I do love the NBA. I follow it a lot. So it's been very, very interesting for me to cross those sports together. But yeah, remember to check us out. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at We Talk Football 24, and look us up on Facebook at We Talk Football. Thank you very much. Have a nice rest of your weekend. I'll see you next time. Awareness.